Hey, what's up guys? Bum Cosmetics, first video. So, what's gonna happen today? Today, we have Conspiracy Theory Tuesday. So, I went on my Instagram and I asked you guys what you wanted to see me do while I did my makeup because I have ADHD and I cannot just focus on giving a makeup tutorial. It's not gonna happen. So you guys said the three main things you wanted to see were conspiracy theories, advice, and Q&As. So I thought I will do conspiracy theories on Tuesday and advice/Q&A on Friday. So let's get into that. What I will do for the conspiracy theories and Q&As is I will most likely 3 to 4 days before I upload the video, not before I film. I normally film like 2 or 3 days before I have to upload, so I have time to edit and change things if I want, or film again if I need to, if something goes wrong. So with that being said, I will post a question on Instagram asking you guys what you want to see. I will also be looking at the comments below. Give me what conspiracy theories you want me to talk about, what questions you want me to answer, what advice you want. I don't think I have much advice to give, but I thought that I'd throw that in there because a lot of people asked for it. So let's get into the video today. I'm really excited about today's video because we're doing Disney conspiracy theories, and I love Disney, and why wouldn't you ruin something you hate, right? Right. Alright, so I have my notes here for the conspiracy theories, and without further ado, let's start with the makeup real quick just so that I can get right into the conspiracy theories. So I'm going to put my hair up. I have a headband just to get my hair out of the way, and I will prep my face. You always want to prep your face. You don't have to use super expensive products, or you don't have to use an eye cream. Just at least a moisturizer. If you have dry skin like mine, even if you have oily skin, moisturizers are always helpful. Just find the right moisturizer for you that fits your price range also, because that can be a problem as well. So I have the simple 24-hour moisturizer. Oh, it focused. I've tried so many times to make it focus and it just hasn't. So I don't get a lot of this. I just get a little bit. With moisturizers, I've learned a little bit really goes a long way. Like, you really don't need a lot. Bring it down to your neck and up, just to get that moisture into your skin so that your skin's nice and hydrated. Don't forget to drink water like I do, because that will also help. Next, I have an eye cream. No, I don't normally use an eye cream, but I did get this one as a sample. If it'll focus. You can't really see it there because samples are really small, but it says Murad. I don't know how to say it. I don't know this brand, but it's the Renewing Eye Cream. I don't use a lot of this either, mostly because your eyes are a very small portion of your face, so just use a little bit of that. And your eyes are a very small portion of your face. Again, moisturizers and creams tend to go a long way. And this is a sample, so we're going to try to make it last as long as possible. So we're going to put that all over our eyes. And let's get into it. So I'm going to start with my eyes. I know some people do their makeup first and do their eyeshadow while they're baking. Also, yes, I know my nail's broken and that I need fills. We're going to ignore that, okay? But I like to start with my eyes and then my face makeup, just so that if there's any imperfections, I can fix that with concealer when I go over it. So let's get started. Our first conspiracy theory is one second. Our first conspiracy theory is that our Ariel's sisters all have different moms. From Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Now, if you look at all her sisters, none of them look alike. None of them look like Ariel's mom. None of them look alike. And you could sit there and be like, oh, well, maybe they got recessive genes from their parent, or from their mom and they got dominant genes from their dad, which, you know, is excusable. You know, right now I just use Benefits Professional. That's not gonna focus. Professional Pearl Primer, because I love it, but it dries out my skin, but I do like it for, it dries out my skin only because I have really, really dry skin and everything dries out my skin, but I think it makes a nice base for eyeshadow to go on, so like that. But anyways, you could say that she got very recessive genes from her mom and that her dad just filled them in, but they really don't look a lot like each other. Siblings do that sometimes. I don't look anything like my brother. It happens, okay? So we're not going to base the whole theory off of that, but if you look deeper into it, there could be some things to focus on there. Now, if you look at kings in the past, kings need an heir. If you're going to die, you need someone else to take on the throne after you. So, since you need someone else to take over the throne after you, you're gonna need to ensure that you can make some kids, that you will have some kids to take over your throne after you die. Obviously, I'm gonna use Too Faced Born This Way concealer on my eyes real quick. You know, just get right into that. So, a lot of kings, in order to ensure that they had a good chance of having children, is that they would have multiple women to try to have children with. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing or something that's wrong, but because, you know, the queens were aware, it was just a thing that, you know, don't cheat on your wife, but it was a thing that kings oftentimes did just to ensure that they had someone to take over the throne after they died. Now, King Neptune could have done this. There's not much evidence within the film because we don't really see much of the sisters, let alone Ariel's family as a whole. But as he is a king and he does need someone to take over the throne, this could have happened. Now, if we take another look at it, Ariel is really the only one who looks like her mother, which would explain why Ariel gets such, she gets treated like she's the favorite. She gets a little bit of favoritism throughout the movie, in her family, stuff like that. Now, the sisters don't seem to resent her for it, but you can definitely tell while watching the movie that her dad just, you know, he likes her a little bit more than the others. So, the reason that could be is that kings tended to favorite the children of the standing queen because, you know, that's their queen, that's their wife, that's the person that they married. So, of course, the queen's daughter is gonna get some special treatment above the others. Now, that is our first theory. Now, I don't know if I believe this one fully. I think it definitely makes sense and that it has roots, it's believable, but I don't think it's something that I can full-heartedly be like, yes, this is what I believe. But I do think it's interesting and cool, and I do like it. So, on to our next theory. Now, our next theory is that the prince in Snow White isn't actually a prince at all. Now, how do you know this, you might ask? Well, let's look at Snow White's dead. There's no way you would put someone in a coffin if they're not breathing. Now, we see different scenarios throughout the Disney movies. You have Snow White and Sleeping Beauty. Both of them went into a very deep sleep and had to be kissed to be woken up. Now, but the difference here is, I'm going to use the Morphe 35H palette, and I'm going to be using this color right here. Sorry, I like to keep the like name sheets in there because I do like pictorials on Instagram and it's nice to throw in the name. But so if you look at Sleeping Beauty, she's not put in a coffin. She's not signified as dead. Her parents see her and they put her in a bed until she wakes up. Now, Sleeping Beauty or Aurora's curse is supposed to last, I'm going to put this in the crease here, is supposed to last a very long time, and if someone doesn't wake her up, eventually she dies, right? That's the sad truth about her curse. Now, if you look at Snow White, on the other hand, she doesn't have that same thing going on. They immediately put her into a coffin. Now, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't immediately put someone into a coffin. I wouldn't assume that they're dead unless I've checked if they have a pulse, if they're breathing. You know, maybe they didn't know about pulses then, but they know about breathing. If Snow White is sleeping, she'd still be breathing, which means, you know, they could tell if she's alive or not, but clearly they found her dead. So now this theory believes that the prince that comes to get Snow White and wake her up with that kiss is actually the Prince of Death. And why do we think that, you might ask? Because there's no way she was sleeping. There's no way that the dwarfs actually thought that she was dead if she's sleeping, because you can see someone breathing. Your breathing is actually deeper when you're sleeping. So, you know, it just doesn't make much sense that the dwarfs automatically put her into a coffin. Let's not even talk about how the fact that they had time to specially make a coffin that has glass and her name engraved in it. But, you know, that part's fine. We're going to ignore that. But yeah, they clearly thought she was dead. They had reason to believe that they could put her into a coffin. The prince comes and kisses her, aka the kiss of death. You see? Now, some more evidence to back this up. The white horse that they ride off on is actually horses that are referenced in the Bible when talking about death. They're called the pale horses, and they are brought up in Revelation. Now, also, if we look deeper into the ending, Snow White says bye to the dwarfs as if she's never gonna see them again. She doesn't say bye as in, oh, I'm gonna get married and I'll see you at my wedding, or you guys can always come to the castle. No, she says bye as if they're never gonna see each other again, and that she loves spending time with them and thank them for everything that they did for her and everything. Like, it just doesn't seem like she's been woken up by a prince, you know, and that she's gonna go get married and live in a castle and take on her stepmother. It looks like she, you know, died and that she's going away forever, you know. So there's that theory. Again, did you guys believe it? Do you guys think that that's something that, you know, can change your opinion? Next theory. This next theory I'm really excited about. It's that Aladdin never happened. Now, you may be thinking, right, Aladdin did happen. I saw Aladdin. We all saw Aladdin. Now, as a disclaimer, I'm not talking about the live action. We're going to be talking about, you know, strictly the cartoon version, because that's what I grew up with, and that's what I watched as a child. So, and there's not very many conspiracy theories about the live action versions just yet, so there's that. So, Aladdin never happened. Now, how could you think that, you might ask? Now look at the beginning, the opening sequence. You are met with this peddler, this trader, whatever you want to call him. This guy comes up to you, you see him, and he immediately starts talking about this lamp and why you should get it and why it's important and why it could bring you good fortune. He's trying to sell you a product. Now, what do people do when they're trying to sell you a product? They make up a story about it. They make you feel connected to it. They make you feel like you need it. There's something in your life that makes you need this product. Now, that being said, now we're going to look deeper into it. He's making up a story of the genie being in the lamp as, you know what, now you have this person. You know, now there's a possibility of a person being here to do your bidding. There might be a genie in here. There might be something you can get 3 wishes out of this. All if you buy this lamp. Now, that's definitely not the most exciting one. The most exciting one is the frozen theory. Now, the frozen theory, I'm sure you guys have heard it before, but if you haven't, I'll reiterate it for you today, because it is one of my favorite theories of all time. It really is. I love this theory so much, because it's just so good. Like, it's so in-depth. You know, I think I believe the first half of it, not all of it, because not all of it is like die-hard believable. But it is a good theory. I do like it. I do like how much time and effort someone put into having a whole theory out there. So, okay. First things first on the frozen theory is that Rapunzel and Anna and Elsa are cousins. Now, you might be thinking, well, you might have known this, but Rapunzel and Eugene actually show up to Elsa's coronation 3 years after their wedding. This date is significant because 3 years before the coronation, which happened 3 years after Rapunzel's wedding, has happened. One second. The coronation takes place 3 years after the king and queen of Arendelle's death. This is significant because that is the same time as Rapunzel's wedding. And the director of Frozen has confirmed that the king and queen were on their way to a wedding. Now, I don't know about you, but the director has also confirmed that they were on a 2-week journey to this wedding. And personally, I wouldn't take a 2-week trip for just anybody. I'm going to take a brush with no product on it real quick and just blend that out. I wouldn't take a 2-week trip for just anybody. You have to be really close to me or it has to be a really important event for me to travel 2 weeks to go see you, right? But if it was my brother's long-lost daughter's wedding, that'd be the perfect occasion to travel 2 weeks to, you know? So, I still need that palette. Next, take a smaller brush and just blend it out underneath my lash line. So, first things first. Yeah, if it was my brother's long-lost daughter's wedding, that's the perfect occasion for you to go and have a 2-week vacation, 2-week trip there and back for. Because I wouldn't want to just go 2 weeks for anybody, you know? Then, it said that they died somewhere along the way. And this is the part where it kind of gets tricky, where it gets more into a realm where it's less and less believable. For reasons, and I'll explain the reasoning I have for not believing the second half of this theory. But one second. I'm going to be using a Morphe M421 brush and Urban Decay's Heavy Metal Glitter Gel. Alright, I'm just going to be applying that on the inner corner of my eyelids, and let's get back into the theory. So, it's perfect for the placing. Now, Arendelle is, I forget where it is. I think it's like somewhere in Asia. But Rapunzel is based in Germany because Rapunzel is a Grimm's fairy tale, or Grimm's brother fairy tale. And they lived in Germany and they based all of their stories in their home because that's where they knew how to talk about. That's what they knew. So of course you're gonna write about what you know. So with that being said, it is yet again a 2-week journey, and they disappeared somewhere in the middle. Now, what's located in the middle? Little Mermaid and Tarzan. The island that Tarzan discovered is based in is said to be off of Europe because British people come to explore the island to look at gorillas, wildlife, stuff like that. That's how Jane gets here. But it is said that when their ship crashed, Elsa and Anna's parents didn't really die. They started a new life. They had a baby, they built a home, you know, normal shipwreck things. So, what are you saying? It makes you not believe this. Now, what I don't believe in this theory is that it's just not believable. Look at Tarzan's parents versus Anna and Elsa's parents. They don't look alike. Their hair color is different. Their, facial structure is different. Now, yes, people can change. When they've gone through shipwrecks, they're going to be dirtier, they're going to be scared, they're not going to be so upkept as they were in the castle. But that still doesn't excuse major changes like facial structure or stuff like that, So, one second. The next part of the theory is that Ariel actually finds their ship. Now, like I said, Ariel was based around the area that the ship crashed, or the ship would have crashed. So, I'm going to use Benefit's Their Real Mascara because I love this mascara. It's my favorite. But if you look at certain little things like the design of the boat that Ariel finds versus the design of the boat that Anna and Elsa's parents were on, there's a lot of similarities. Now, we don't really see the boat for that long, but we do see things like the windows and we see things like the windows and certain like little architectural things, and you know, in that sense, those things hold up. They do look very similar. However, there could have been another shipwreck from Arendelle. Like, there could have been another thing that happened that you know, involved another boat. But it's very unlikely that two countries have the exact same styles or designs in building a boat. Real quick, I'm gonna use Wet n Wild's Rose Water Drop Primer because it is the only one that actually gives any moisture to my face. Yeah, I just feel that one second. That, you know, it's very unlikely that two of the exact same ship have sunk. Now, it's likely for the two countries to have the same ship design, but it's weird to have the exact same ship. Now, that's that. Next, we have a theory for Up. I love Up. I really do. So, when I found a theory revolving around Up, that was so amazing. My boyfriend and I both love Up. I want to do like an adventure book thing for both of us. But I'm gonna use Too Faced Born This Way foundation in porcelain. We're just gonna give, there we go. I like to put one pump on the back of my hand just so that I have it warms up the product a little bit and I have a little freedom to decide how much goes onto the beauty blender, and then I'm gonna put that all over my face. Now, in Up, the theory is that Carl, his name's Carl, right? Either way, main character, he's been dead this whole time. And Russell shows up when he dies as an escort to heaven, escort to the afterlife, you know, an angel that holds your hand on your way to the afterlife. Now, if you see this, Russell is so adamant on helping Carl. So adamant. He doesn't want to leave his side. He insists on Carl being the one. I really don't think his name's Carl. You know what? I'm going to keep calling him Carl because, you know what? I'm a mess up, okay? And that's okay. But Carl, what we're calling him now, is not the only elderly person in town. There's no way he's the only elderly person in town. So why is Russell so adamant on Carl being the one that helps him get his elderly assistance patch? Because Carl helping this person cross over is his version of getting his wings. His wings. Angels have to do stuff to get their wings. Now, Russell was sent on this mission to bring this person to the afterlife and help them cross over and XYZ, right? Oh, where'd I put it? 1 second. Alright, I'm gonna go back to the Born This Way Too-Faced concealer. And Carl doesn't want to be helped. He doesn't know he's dead, you know, and he doesn't feel like he needs help. And, you know, that's fine. But if Russell were really just trying to help an elderly person, any elderly person to get his patch, then why wouldn't he just leave and find someone else, right? Wrong, because he has to get his wings. So, he stays, hides under the porch, which don't even get me started on how that's possible, but he stays, hides under the porch, and helps Carl go about his journey and cross over to the other side. Now, this doesn't make much sense once you consider that they did things. They went and got ice cream. Carl had his pin ceremony thing, you know, or badge ceremony. But if you look at it a little closer, think about it as heaven. Where else would Russell get his wings? Heaven. So if his elderly, I forget what it's called, but like if that patch that he's going for really is a stand-in for his wings, then he would have gotten his wings in heaven, right? So, one second. So, all the stuff that they do, once they get back to the world to where they originally came from, with the balloon, the hot air balloon, and that's not a hot air balloon, the blimp, and all the dogs, that is when they get to heaven. That's Carl crossing over and, you know, dealing with his death. And, you know, the only other thing that kind of makes it not as believable is Ellie. If they were in heaven, wouldn't Ellie be there? You know, to greet them, or real quick, I'm gonna use Kat Von D's Lock-It translucent setting powder. I love this. I live by it. But yeah, why wouldn't Ellie be there to greet them? That's my thing. Like, I love the theory. I really do. I think it's golden. And it really does make sense until you start looking at the fact that Ellie's not there. Why wouldn't Ellie be there? Like, if her husband died and they've been talking about going to Ellie. But once you start to think about it, if Carl's already dead when Russell shows up, then listen, they talk to Ellie all the time, and Russell is the only person that doesn't think it's weird that Carl talks to Ellie. He talks to Ellie as well, and even says that Ellie's talked to him back and has said that he could keep the bird and that he could, he said that Ellie told him he could keep the bird and that he talks to Ellie throughout the movie. So why wouldn't it be that they are dead and Russell is an angel? Because if Russell was an angel, then it would make sense that he could also talk to Ellie. And if you think about it, like, Carl's really shocked about this. Carl's like, wait, why is this kid talking to my wife? I talk to my wife, you know? Next, I'm going to go in with the Soph X Revolution highlight palette. I'm going to use this white color because I used white glitter on my eyes and I think that's cute. So, anyways, if I can find my brush. That's, those are my theories. I do believe that Carl is dead and that Russell's helping him. I really do like that theory, and I do think it's very believable. I'm gonna go in this gold. I'm gonna put it right in with the white, sorry. I'm gonna put it right in the crease here, or in the corner. There we go. And I'm going to put a little bit on my brow bone. So next we're going to do lipstick. I'm going to be using ColourPop's little one, ColourPop and Zoella's little one, liquid lip. It is my favorite. I use it like every day. Alright, that is done. Those were our theories for today. Let me know, you guys, did you believe them? Did you think that there's anything that makes them non-believable? Or did you like the look? This is the look. This is our look for today. I hope you guys like it. Oh, wait, 1 second. I always forget this. I don't really do my eyebrows, but I do like to give them some definition, some shape to them. My eyebrows, I feel like they're too bushy. So I do like to do that. Like, I love the difference between that. And then I have some setting spray on this brush. And it just helps my eyebrows keep that shape that I want them to have. So that is that. This is our look for today. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.